All right, ladies and gentlemen, today you are going to create a model of a cycloid. You're going to launch GeoGebra, and as always, the first thing you're going to do is save your file. Save it right into your J drive, call it cycloid.ggb. And from there, you are going to go to this tool here to move the graphics view so that we can get our axes around in around this orientation. And we are actually going to change the units for the x-axis under Options, Settings. Click on Graphics, X-axis, and we're going to change this distance unit from 1 to pi over 2. Save those settings and look what we have here. We can use the scroll wheel to get a nice, handy representation of our period 0 to 2 pi. We now need to make our unit circle. To do that, we'll go up to the Point tool, and we'll do a point at intersection of two objects. Click right on the intersection of the two axes. If we click on our arrow and try to move point A, notice how it doesn't move. We will also put a point on object right on the y-axis, and then we're going to use the arrow to drag it, and it should snap right to point 0, 1. Now to make our unit circle, we will go to this Circle tool, Circle with center through point. Click on A and on B, and there indeed is our unit circle. Next, we need to make a point on object. And we're going to put point C directly on our circle. And then we're going to need an intersect of two objects, a point right at the intersection of our circle and the x-axis. Once again, choose the arrow and make sure D is fixed and it cannot move. It needs to be the intersection of the circle and the x-axis. All right, we need to make a circular arc, and we do that with this tool here. Circular arc with center between 2 points. We are going to click on the center of our circle A, start at point D, and go to point C, and we just made a circular arc. Now it named it D. It might name it something else for you, but we're going to rename it. And of course, a great name for arcs would be, of course, theta. So we're going to rename that to theta, and now we have an arc named theta. I'm also going to change the properties. Watch this. Right click on that, go to properties. We can pick a different color for it, and we can change the style, so we can change the thickness so it really shows up nice and bold on our diagram. There's our arc theta. Notice how our arc, if it's half the circle, see how it's 3.14? That's pi radians. That's exactly where we need to be. All right. We can use our arrow tool to move point C around. And from here, we're going to go to our input bar, and we're actually going to graph a line, x equals theta. And we hit enter, and we're going to get a line at x equals theta. We're going to go ahead and change the properties of this line to make it the style to make it dashed, and we're going to do the same thing for another line, y equals sine parentheses theta, and hit enter. Change it to a style of dashed as well. From here, we need to create the intersection of the two lines we made. Once again, that's the point intersect two objects, and we get point E as the intersection. What's going to happen now is we are going to trace point E. Watch this. Here's point E. Let's go ahead and put the trace on. And let's go ahead and take point C. This is the fun part. Turn the animation on and watch what happens. What you're going to notice here is, what is this curve that's being created? Well, this is the sine curve. And you have just created a model of a cycloid. Congratulations.